Genevieve beginning its journey out to sea. After peaking as a 160 miles per hour Category 5 earlier this morning, Genevieve has weakened down to 145 miles per hour, currently with a pressure of 942 millibars, located at 16.4 degrees north, 114 degrees west. Currently the storm is a major hurricane as of 17 o'clock PDT, that's 0 UTC, July 27th, 2026, moving northwest 310 degrees at 13 miles per hour. Here's the storm's wind field. You've got 130 nautical miles in the northwest, 130 nautical miles in the northeast, 130 in the southeast, and 90 in the southwest. Moving on to the distances in miles, 119 miles away from Isla Clarion, 502 miles from Cabo San Lucas, 1120 from San Diego, and 2688 from Hawaii. The storm is moving away from Mexico, and Cabo San Lucas won't be expecting much, but the main focus for the storm will be rip currents yet again, as it was in the last update for the storm. But moving on to the current warnings and watches, there's actually none at the moment, and there probably won't be at all. The storm is moving out to the Eastern Pacific, as I mentioned in the title card of the update, and won't head back towards Mexico anytime soon, or any other areas of land, so it should stay fine as it moves out into cooler waters where it will be going as it's heading northwest. As I mentioned earlier, rip currents are the primary hazard for Hurricane Genevieve, because of strong rip currents across islands nearby and even Mexican coasts, and actually California as well. So that will be causing issues with marine use, just like the last update has mentioned. Stay away from the marine use. But moving on to the NHC's forecast cone, and you can straight away see not much has actually changed. The storm is remaining in a steady northwesterly track there on that cone. It will be weakening steadily as it reaches down to hurricane status and then back down to tropical storm status, probably turning post-tropical by Saturday, which is what the NHC are expecting there. But generally, not much has changed from the last cones that have been put out from NHC. There's a storm sea surface temperatures though, so you can see where that NHC cone was, and it will be moving straight into them cooler waters there, which will put the storm straight down in intensity. And right now the storm looks like it's over around 26-27 degree waters right now, moving out of them warmer areas that are starting to become more prevalent off the Mexican coast as we're moving into August. So expect more activity around this region due to this El Nino. Multi-model diagnostic comparisons, well obviously it's been very confusing with the European model. They've just been been very funny with the storm and all storms recently, but if you have a look at the intensity, it's a straight downfall. Everyone's in agreement there, and it's pretty much the same with shear as well. Shear, you have that one little blip up there on Wednesday, but most of it remains quite normal. And there's nothing too different about the sea surface temperatures. You can see it's falling right down right now around 28-27 degrees. Precipitation forecast as well. Well, nothing really is going to change from this. It's just the rain that the storm will produce along its track. And you can see the northern side of the storm will produce a lot more rain in the next few days, but it will start to fall off on the precipitation, eventually becoming basically none. Towards the end of that track there, when it becomes post-tropical. Wind forecast, once again, pretty much the same, but more. These winds seem to be packing more on the northern side of the storm, which leads us to think that the northern side of the storm is doing quite well, and will be doing quite well for the rest of its life, even though it will be weakening. And ocean heat content for the storm so far, that's been looking quite good so far. You can see those big pockets there of great potential for the storm, but that will be losing its potential, as we know, in the forecast track. But you could see back when it was a Category 5 earlier this morning, it was in a lot more better conditions, so that's quite apparent on that map there. Moving on anyway to the satellite imagery, you can see there, wonderful satellite imagery. The storm has lost its appearance since earlier this morning, as you know, but it seems to be seems to have just reclaimed a little bit there in recent frames on how it looks. It looks a little bit better than it did a few hours ago, but that won't last too long at all. When it's going to start deteriorating again. But it does look really photogenic actually, and you can see on that wide shot there, if we move over, you can actually see Fausto in the distance, and look at the difference there. That beautiful Category 4 storm, that beautiful eye, it's quite a dry eye too, drier than average, and there it is on infrared imagery from real life. You can actually quite easily see that boost in cloud tops surrounding the eye. I've left in a spot here where I'll be putting through lots of imagery for you to just have a look at of the storm as I play out for the update. Thank you very much.